Welcome to Innate Express Podcast. I'm Haig, chiropractor in Melbourne, Florida. Our mission is to ground you in service and inspire you to serve at your very best. Let's get started. Hey there, welcome to our podcast. This is Haig John. I'm a chiropractor in Melbourne, Florida. I'm here with amazing student Ryan McGrath from Marietta, Georgia, Life University in the house, my alma mater. And, I've gotten to know you a little bit from, we had a BGI here at my office, and you came down to visit once, and we had a really good time, and I really wanted to showcase you on our podcast, and, I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm excited.
You're welcome.
Always excited. You really. It doesn't have to be like this. Just always excited to hang out with you.
Awesome. Well, I like hanging out with you, and what we want to share is, because a lot of this is for students, the journey. Everyone has their own journey story, where they are now with, the chiropractic life in school, and then really what's our vision of afar? What do we see, chiropractic for ourselves for the future? So, and anything else that might come up with that. So those are guidelines for us. And, I'd just like to see, where'd you come from? How did you get to where you are right now in chiropractic school?
It's a good story. So I was 7 years old, and my mother babysat children throughout my whole childhood. And she's very much so an active mom. She was juggling 12 or 15 kids sometimes, babysitting.
Wow.
And so she was able to move around a lot, and that's how I knew her. She did jazzercise and all these dance classes. So I just knew my mom as someone who moved a lot. And I just remember the image is just imprinted into my head when I came outside of my room and I look in the living room and my mom is just laying on the floor, and I'm like, Mom, why are you laying on the floor? You're always laying on the couch. If anything, if you lay down, it's on the couch. Why are you on the floor? And she just had the most sad, distraught look. She was like, Ryan, I can't move. And I just remember just standing over her, being 7 years old, and just being what? What do you mean you can't move? You move around all the time. What's going on? And so that was a scare for me at 7. I was she for my mom. And because I could tell just how much pain she was in.
Yeah.
One of the kids that she babysat, my mom called and told her hey, I can't watch Brian today. Something's wrong with my back. I gotta go in and get blah blah blah. And then the friend was just I'm coming to pick you up and I'm taking you to my chiropractor. So my mom didn't hesitate because she really didn't want to do surgery, the whole idea of that, and she's not really one to want to take pharmaceuticals and pills and stuff. So she already knew that she didn't want to do that, but she was scared and was okay, I'll go to the chiropractor. She just surrendered to that. And right away, immediately, walking out of the practice and doing jazzercise a month later, where it was told that she was going to have surgery and be on painkillers the rest of her life. And it's whoa. So I witnessed that thing happen at 7. And then my mom started going for a little while. And then just so happened that, praise the Lord, Dr. Jenny, if she watches this.
What's her name? Tell me, what's her name?
Dr. Jenny Brooke. Okay. Yep. She's an angel in our family, and
make sure we send her a copy of this.
Yeah. And yeah, for sure. Love you, Dr. Jenny. And she runs a vitalistic practice. So when my mom was in there and my mom came in for pain, she educated, properly about why this isn't all about your pain. There's more to this chiropractic, your shirt. So yeah, so she's a chiropractic warrior. She's on the front lines and she's amazing. So she educated my mom, and my mom was just okay, I'll bring my kid in, like, and my husband, like, why
Sure.
not? Yeah, of course. Like, if I'm gonna get it, why not them? And so then I got my first adjustment, and when I just walked out there and was like, I'm gonna be a chiropractor. Like, I asked my mom, actually, I can't lie, because I did ask her. I was like, Ma, how much do chiropractors make? Because at that point in my life, like, people are like, what do you want to be? Like a policeman, a fireman? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was just kind of like walking through life, like, I don't know what I want to be. I don't want to be either of those things. And then I was introduced to chiropractic. I saw it with my own eyes, and I was just like, yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then Dr. Jenn, like, already told me, she's like, you're going to Life University. And I was like, okay. So, yeah. And then came to Life right after high school.
Yeah.
And had the intention of like going through my undergrad and going through like straight through. And it just was a little bit much for me at the time. So I ended up going back to New Hampshire, where I'm from, and getting my undergrad there at Keene State. My undergrad in health science, specialized in promoting community health. So got my undergrad there, close to family and friends, and yeah. And then that gave me the comfort to come down to Life, like in a place where I'm ready to, take on this doctorate program here.
We get a little caught up with this doctor thing. A doctor is a well-educated person. And like you have a doctorate in medicine, you have a doctorate in chiropractic, you have a doctorate in physics, you have a doctorate in mathematics. Having this doctorate in service is what, I feel, where understanding what it means to serve and not just be a technician, right? Anybody can just punch on someone's back, but to do an amazing service and clear the neurology and help that person transform their own life, that is a whole other realm, right? So how do you feel now? Now you're in school, you're knee deep, you're in it. What quarter are you in right now?
To be honest, I don't even know how to answer that question. I think
I know the feeling.
I summed it up to just like pre-student clinic.
Yeah, that's good.
Right there before. I modified my way through the way that my brain can do this. And I also keep it at a modification because I'm constantly doing my homework on the spine and the mechanics of it and the dynamic of it. And, there's so much more to study when it comes to adjusting than what's put forth in school, even with the anatomy, even.
Oh my gosh, you get this much real anatomy.
Yeah. And it's just like, man, like I got to do way more, and I have been. And so like, and I feel good about being modified and taking a longer time through the program. So that way, like when I step into student clinic, like I'm ready to serve. Like I want to learn the paperwork side there. Like I don't want to be learning how to adjust there. I want to serve there.
That's right. A lot of students do just wait. They don't do seminars. I know you just came back from MLS this weekend. Is that right? And now I'm going to let it out. This was your staffing weekend, right? You were on staff.
Yeah. First time on staff. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Really, really humbling and bizarre at the same time.
What do you feel you got out? How do you feel different from where you were, how many times did you go to MLS before you were on staff?
I've done 3 1s and 1 2.
And you think you were ready to be on staff? Do you feel you were prepared for it after that? Staffing's a different world. It is.
Yeah.
Staff has gone on for years and years.
And it was a really cool experience to see how the learning never stops.
Oh yeah.
And like, so like being this, it's like almost like getting to the level of being able to staff, then it's time to like fine tune what those big things that you were like looking at, like how can we. And then like a big thing that Wade was talking about this weekend, which I find it like ironic, but like like not ironic at all. Like, you know, it's just funny. Like I was reading through the green books and reading BJ's the article on slipping and checking.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wade was just like, without me even like telling him about that, he's talking about it the whole time, like slip and check. We gotta slip and check. Like we gotta, you know, and BJ was saying like prune the hedges. And so like there's always something to check up on, and you know, it's just never ending learning process.
A big part of it, really, once you get more refined in understanding how your body functions, your own serving body, that being present in that present time consciousness and being fully with that person might be a few seconds, but being fully aware of every aspect of that system and being able to serve with our greatest, without the self, let's take the self out, and just being. That clarity to serve, that's what takes work. You know, that clarity. We can work on our bodies, we can become, you know, really muscular and all these things. Doesn't make us a better adjuster. We could, you know, bounce around the place and cracking spines and making sounds. It does not make us a great adjuster. What makes us a great adjuster is having an understanding of that principle of why, who we are, and then knowing ourselves. And a lot of what we do in our other, the rest of these podcasts are visualizations, meditations, and abundance philosophy. And it's really all about clearing our garbage. As we have so much that we pick up from the world, I don't want to bring that to that person because I'm serving them. If I'm serving them the crap of outside, right, that's going to be what they get.
Right.
So if I'm clear, right, we have all that beautiful bliss that created from above down, inside out from God. We might as well let that come right through. Wow, I felt that. I was inspired with it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan.
It was really, and then the other really cool part of it was, you know, going around and helping people like track peace, like, and then seeing that like their eyes open up just by like bringing your hand underneath theirs and, you know, a little bit less rotation, a little bit, and then and doing that dance like with them, and then like seeing them like go like, oh, it's like, oh, okay, here we go.
When you know you have it, you can feel it within your system.
Yeah.
I'm sure. You've had student clinic at all yet, or any adjusting in the
full spine 3? I've made it through that.
Full spine 3. When you have that first vertebra, that actual subluxation that adjusts, not just a bone that makes sound, but actual subluxation, it resonates through your body. It's one of the most amazing feelings.
Yeah, it's like a energy exchange.
Right.
Like, yeah. Not to say that like you're taking on like what was their bad energy, like it's, you're not taking it away, like releasing. Right. Almost just like throws this release of dopamine in the brain, and I don't know. We should probably do some studies with like.
We don't need to. We know that's all love transfer, right? Pasquale used to say, he said, what we're doing is sharing codes. For me, you know, I love my adjustments. I want to do all the adjusting myself in the office. And, you know, because I get what I also give. We're in an exchange. It's not just selfish. And there's an exchange of money, which is very important to stay in balance with that with people. But we're also exchanging energy as well. And being in balance with our practice members and the people we serve, you know, that is a very important aspect. And you know, when you have something that's very toxic that comes into the office, sort of stirs up the whole place. So, and it's so nice to hear you training as hard as you do and as much as you do, because you'll get back to that place when you have the big challenges in the office, because you know what? They come, right? So what kind do you guys have? Do you guys meet during the week, or do you have clubs that you meet together?
Yeah, we have some clubs, select like-minded individuals we get together. And
What are the name of the clubs? Which clubs?
well, BGI Club.
BGI Club, yeah.
And then we have the Path of Mastery, where we do all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. Wade Port started the Path of Mastery when we were in school together. I remember when the Path
still has an influence on it now. He helps us a lot. Him and Dr. Deegan and Dr. Aaron Rossi and Dr. Mike Morato, those guys are huge within.
All my love when you see them next.
What's that?
Send them all my love when you see them next, please.
I will. Yeah, Dr. Deegan gave me an adjustment today, and next time I go in next Tuesday, I'll tell him you said hello and all the love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say to a student? Because we do these interviews, and I say interview because we're getting interview of you. And, from Parker, from Palmer Davenport, from Palmer, Florida, I'm going to Mexico this weekend. We're going to do a couple of the students in Mexico. And, I have to say Life University is an amazing microcosm. You have the good fortune of having, amazing chiropractors and students even. Not all students have that, right? And you've probably seen it. You do seminars a lot, and you go to places, and you see people that are just thirsty and hungry. Do you have any maybe input that you can share or something? What would you say to a student that's really looking for the juice?
I mean,
it's a tough one.
Tough. Yeah. I mean, I talk about it a lot because, there's a lot of negative stuff that gets talked about with Life University, like outside of it, with, whatever. And we really are so blessed with the amount of seminars that come around. I definitely do not take that for granted. I definitely am very blessed. And I whenever I meet someone at a seminar who's from one of those places, like they've got my number, like you can stay with me. Like if you're watching this right now and you're coming to Atlanta and you're doing an MLS or BGI, hit me up. You got a place to stay. That's the best that I can do, is to just offer up, a place to stay and come to Atlanta, because there's a lot of growth happening here. And then also just follow wherever biogeometric integration is going, and follow MLS and other places other than Atlanta. And yeah, we need to get more thirsty for more of that kind of stuff outside of school. You got to go and drink it,
Well, in any graduate school, you do not get, the curriculum doesn't make you successful, right? Mm-hmm. You get it outside the school, you get it in your groups, you get it in your meeting with friends, even going out and having a couple of beers, you end up talking about chiropractic and philosophy and all those things, where sometimes it becomes so much. But the reality of it is, it is what creates you as a chiropractor. And being grounded in this principle, grounded in our philosophy, grounded in this service, that is where that power comes from. And seeing the spark in you and in your friends and, and the people that I've seen you with already, that, I see that the future is really bright for you. I see how, it's work and it's not easy, and we run into challenges, but in reality, once you have the foundation, you can build any building, right? Because it's solid. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you. I love seeing it. Where do you see yourself? You see yourself going back up north? You see yourself, I know you love being in the woods and nature and things. I love your backyard right now. And we're going to come up and do an innate adjusting workshop up there in what is it, 20 acres you have there?
26. Yeah, the patch
26.
there. Yeah, the landlords. We just another blessing. That's another. That's another thing. Yeah, we got lucky here.
Great. That's
Not
great.
just with the landlords. They are what it is to be Southern hospitality, like true, true loving folks.
Serving, right? I look at everything
Yeah.
as serving myself.
Yeah.
There's
It's always a give and take between us. I'm helping them, they help me a lot, and without asking, we're here for each other. So it worked out.
Any other little bit of wisdom that you want to share?
Um,
Did we miss anything?
I mean, kind of going back, I'd like to kind of go back to what you said about more about the being rather than the doing. Because that was another thing that I'm sure Arno talked about a lot, because we did an exercise at the end of the seminar, and that was what Wade was, that was the whole point of the exercise, was to be and not do. And the exercise was like an hour long. So you just got to go to the seminar and experience what it is. I can't describe it. No one can. You just have you have to show up, and you have to not just show up, but show up in a way to be totally present. And people were in tears. Like there was probably like close to like 40 out of like 56 people like crying at the end of the seminar because of the immense amount of presence that was in the room. And then that kind of brings me back to like John DeMartini. I listen to him a lot, and he says that, when you're so present with the bone, like down to the physiological level of the hydronic acid and the trabecula and everything, and like the bone adjusts itself, and we don't need to do anything. And in school, we get so caught up like in all of the doing, like, you guys got to do this, you guys got to bring them over here, you got to do this, you got to do this. And then as students, we step up to the plate like, okay, I got to do this. And that's the crutch that's like given to us, without that training of being. Yeah.
Which is work. I mean, it is doing the work, the training, it's constant training in every day and every way of our life, of getting to that clarity, leaving the outside world behind, leaving all the stuff that I've claimed the I am is, and allowing our true essence to be, is not something you do in a day. Okay? The first time you try, the second time you try, it is all work on ourselves. And it doesn't end in school. It doesn't end at the end of one seminar. You pick it up one day and you continue the next. So all that work, I'm so happy you say that, because it is not training the muscles, it's training the self to not matter about the muscles, not matter about the ligament. It's not matter about anything but just that center line focus, the true north of where we truly are from within. That magnetism becomes stronger, and people will want to be around you because of it. And it's a journey, and it's an amazing one. I can't imagine anything else. That's what chiropractic is to me.
Yeah. So I'm taking this exact message back up to New England. That's, I'm definitely going back up to the cold. I love it. I love all the 4 seasons. I can always come and visit you in the wintertime if I need to get away.
Everybody does. Everybody does. And I don't mind, because I like being adjusted. So you come down, you pay with chiropractic, all right?
Yeah, that's right. And, the New England, we got like Georgia in the South has a lot going for chiropractic, and chiropractic is people are hungry for chiropractic up there. They just don't even know it yet. So I'm excited to go back up there and, you know, talk and teach about universal laws, you know, and work, and let's try to work with them, not work against them.
Yep. That's a big thing you just said too. A lot of times the world is trying to work against those universal laws. Even chiropractors are trying to say these universal laws mean nothing and we don't want them in our practice anymore. It's just bizarre.
Well, they can create their own practice. That's what it seems like. There's a different word for that.
Serving will always be there. Chiropractic, absolutely. Well, Ryan, I love and appreciate you. I really had a nice time talking with you.
I love and appreciate you.
Tuning in.
Appreciate all of you.
And you know, share this with your friends. You know, you join our page. Leave some comments. Share this around. Subscribe to our podcast. And we love you and appreciate you. I really want to see. I know I'm going to see you the rest of my life, Ryan, and I'm excited about it. And I love you. And keep serving, okay?
I love you, Doc. Thank you for all you do and what you do for us students. And yeah, thank you for just feeding us. So love and appreciate you very much.
Appreciate you too. All right.